All right, how y'all doing? Thought I'd bring you out back here and just for a minute. What's wrong with this? Thought I'd just bring you out here for a minute. I've been keeping my Hummingbird feeder changed about every 2 or 3 days and putting fresh mixture in there during these hot seasons. This is my little Hummingbird feeder. I'm gonna try to find another one. My mom's got some at her house, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna empty this, and about once a week I take it in and clean it real good with some vinegar solution and a bottle brush. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put some fresh homemade nectar in there. Now, if you wanna know how to make your own nectar, I have a real easy solution for you. Okay, don't buy that red stuff at the store. They don't need that, okay? That's a bunch of crap. Plain old white household table sugar, 16 ounces of water. I use a shaker bottle. It's got measurements on the side. I put 16 ounces of water in here, and then a 1/4 cup of white table sugar. I don't boil it. A lot of people boil it. I should put it in this bottle, shake it up real good, leave it on the counter. About 30 minutes later, I go pick it up again, give it another good shake, make sure all the sugar's dissolved in it, and that's all you need to do. Now, I make 16 ounces, but I don't put 16 ounces in my feeder, okay? I just put about 4 or 5 ounces in there, and I try to change that. That's about enough right there. And I try to change that every day or so, okay? Probably got a little too much in there. Just got to remember, it's important that you change your Hummingbird feeder solution on a regular basis, okay? And that's about enough. You can see how much is in there. I didn't fill it all the way up. So we're gonna do that. And let me show you my new little bird bath thing I've got right here, okay? In my bird bath. I'll bring you over here and show it to you in just a second. What I need to do right now is I need to clean it out. That water gets in there and it stays kind of warm out here, so that water gets kind of warm, and it could get a little bit of algae growing in the bird bath. But what I bought was this. Let me show you. I have this solar powered pump. It's not very big. Let me show it to you right here. This is how big it is, and you see the filter needs cleaned out, so it needs cleaned today. So I bought this off of Amazon. I think it was like $11. I'll put a link in the description of this video. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna clean this out, clean that filter. And I just put the little, let me show you, the little solar powered panel on a bucket right here next to the bird bath. And it will still percolate a little bit even when the sun goes in. So that's another good thing. But let me go get my my garden hose right now, and let's fix this up. I think I've said this before on the channel. I'm gonna turn this little solar panel upside down. That way the pump will stop working while I clean this out. It's actually still going a little bit. But I've said this on the channel before. In the summertime, it's a lot more important. It's equally important in the wintertime, but summertime more than the wintertime. Keeping everything clean out here for the birds. And I think I said this before on my channel. Let me go get a brush real quick so I can clean that up. I got me this little brush that I clean my workshop bench off with, and it works pretty good. Let me show you right here. So what you need to do, it's got some residue on there. Okay, after I emptied the water, you need to kind of like scrub it and get some of that algae worked off the sides of this. This is just a concrete bird bath, nothing fancy. I didn't paint mine or anything. I don't even know if that's important or not. It might be if you had it painted white. Now it might be like the reflecting pool at Washington, D.C., where it growed some algae. The only difference here is I don't have any terrorists or vandals in here with a box cutter cutting my liner. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah. We put a little water in there. Clean that out a little bit. Well, there it goes. Whew. Yeah, you can weigh in. You can weigh in on the comments if you want to. Tell me if you think I should paint this, okay? I didn't think I really needed to, but some of you may have a different story to tell if I needed to paint this or not. So about once a week in the summertime, I'll come out here and empty this thing and spray it down, you know, scrub it real good. And then what I'll do is I'll fill it up with water, okay? I need to clean that pump filter out. Now this bird bath, I think the one I bought here, it's a little deep for the birds, okay? So what I do is I put a couple stones in it, okay? These stones right here. That way the birds can land on it. So I'll show you here. Let me put some water in this. We've had enough rain the last couple of days that this stays pretty full. I really like that little pump though. I'll show you how easy it is to clean. And what it does is it makes the waves, on the water, and the birds see that, okay? And they know that they can come there and get water. And water, you can see that filter. I don't know if I can show it to you or not. Let me get this a little closer here. This filter's got quite a bit of stuff on it. You can see right there. So we're gonna clean that out. Like I said, this is a really neat little pump, okay? I just sprayed it out with the garden hose. And then the filter, same thing. That's just to keep particles from getting to the pump, okay? So we'll put that back in the bird bath right here. It's got little suction cups. Let me show you real quick. It's got little suction cups on the bottom of the pump right there. And I just stick it right here inside the bird bath on that concrete. I just put it right down here in the center. And I have the solar panel turned upside down here on the bucket. I have a little solar panel turned upside down. So I'll turn that back over, and now you can see the little pump is working. Pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna put my rocks back in there, all right? So the birds have some place to land. And then what I try to do, like there's one rock right there. I've got this one right here that I can kind of bridge across. I'll show you. This one here's like a little thing like this, okay? Now I might have to turn that over. Something like that. The birds can get in here, take a bath, what have you. So you got the bird bath's all clean. The hummingbird feeder is full. So I've done a few videos on my backyard before. So we have some, what do they call it? Rose of Sharon trees. They'll propagate themselves, okay? I need to thin them out a little bit. The hummingbirds and the bees like them little flowers. In fact, there's a little skipper on there, right there. I don't know if you've seen it or not. And they'll like that. And I have, these are the purple variety. And I have some over here that are the white variety. They're just a different color. You can see them in there. And they come into bloom in July, so they're just not coming out. And then I leave all this natural back here. I don't really groom it very much. This is my butterfly bush. Now I cut that way back this spring. You cut these back in the spring. I cut it way back and look how big it's gotten all of a sudden. It looks like it might be a little distressed, I'm not sure. But the butterflies, the grasshoppers really love that. Now, this was my wildflower plot over here, but I don't know what's going on. I didn't have as many wildflowers this year come back. I don't know why, but I got plenty of milkweed, okay? And I was just kind of looking over here to see if this is milkweed that I planted, and you can see the seed pods are right here. And when those bust open, all them little seeds will come out in the air, the wind blows them around. So I've gotten more milkweed this year than I've had in the past. So that's a good thing, because butterflies and stuff like the milkweed, the monarch butterfly will lay eggs on it. I don't know if I've got any eggs on these or not. I'll have to come look and see. It's a little bit breezy today. So this is basically my backyard for my bird sanctuary. Okay, that's the window. That's the window up there, right up there, that I usually sit at and take photographs. Sometimes I come out here on the deck, sit in a chair, like one of them chairs. I use my Z8 and my 600 PF, which works really well. And yeah, I'm gonna show you some of the photographs that I've taken this past week in the video now. Now all these photographs I'm gonna show you were taken with the Nikon Z8 and the 600 millimeter PF lens. This cute little female hummingbird was probably about 15 feet away from me. 1/1600 of a second f6.3 at ISO 3200. Now this next shot was a female bluebird hanging her head outside the bluebird box over at a friend of mine's house. I did not take this one in my backyard, but I thought I would share this photograph with you since it was taken with the Nikon Z8 and the 600 millimeter PF lens. This bird box was probably about 20 to 25 feet from where I was sitting. And the camera settings for this was 1/1600 of a second, f6.3 at ISO 900. I did not use the Lightroom denoise on this image here. I didn't feel like it was needed. I did apply a little bit of vignette and square cropped it, which I really preferred the square crop better. But the bird is nice and sharp in the photographs. And while I was over at my friend's house watering their flowers for them, they're on vacation, and she has a little bit of garden out back with a lot of birds. She's a photographer too. I was able to capture a photograph of this catbird in the backyard. 1/1000th of a second, f6.3 at ISO 360 using the Nikon Z8 and the 600 millimeter PF lens. I just love this combination of the Z8 and the 600 millimeter PF. And just made a switch recently from the 500 millimeter f-mount PF and was able to get this from my Z8, and I really like it a lot better than my 500 PF on the D500. And this is the last photograph I have to show you, another female hummingbird. This one was taken in my backyard in my studio, which I showed you earlier in the video, and it was just a great shot, and she perched there for a long time. And I was actually sitting in my bedroom window when I took this. She was probably about 15 feet away from me. The Nikon Z8 and the combination with the 600 PF, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's a really well-balanced rig. I find it very enjoyable to use. And if you're looking for a telephoto lens to do bird photography with on your Nikon Z8 or even your Z5 II, I would recommend the 600 PF. There's a hummingbird right there. He's near the feeder. See him? He's on the feeder. Actually, there's two of them. So they go between my house and my mom's house. See it right there on the feeder? Get a little bit closer. What I do is bring a tripod out here and stick this thing on a tripod, but I can get video with the Z8 better. But you can see, they're not too afraid of me, okay? I think they're fantastic. So my mom lives right over there next door, and she's got some hummingbird feeders. So far, we've actually counted 3 hummingbirds, 2 females and 1 male. Anyways, I just wanted to bring you out here. I got another little watering area right here I need to clean out that I keep right there. It looks pretty good. I don't think we need to clean that out. It's just another place for birds to get water. You know, I've talked about this on some of my birding videos on the channel, but I think that water is the most important thing for birds. They can get food, sometimes not in the wintertime so much, but in the summertime, they're looking for water, good, clean water. So if you've got a bird bath, keep it clean, get you a little pump like I got. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description if you want to buy one from Amazon. I like it. It was only like $11. So if it breaks after 1 year, I can get another one next year. But so far it's doing pretty good. I've had it for about a month, and I just love the way it makes the water look. It lets the birds know. I'll take you over here one more time. If you look at it, how it's rippling the water, then the birds know that there's water there and they'll come in. And I've seen a lot of birds in here at the evening time. One thing I don't do in the summertime is I don't feed my birds. I don't put out any seed or suet or anything. They can go out in the woods, in the grass, get bugs, all kinds of stuff in the summertime. I only help them in the wintertime. Anyways, we'll talk to y'all later, okay? We'll see you. Bye-bye. It's hot out.